what is that, bro? If you're watching this, I can probably pretty much guarantee that you listen to music in and out of the gym. It's kind of common knowledge at this point. It's hard to find someone that doesn't. You're probably in there listening to some hardcore motivational David Goggins edit, you know, who's gonna carry the box? Aaron Olsen edit while you're trying to bench press. Or you're listening to some anime edit, you know, some depressing guts for and I'm telling you this coming from a personal experience as well. I don't have a huge issue with this, as much as it may seem, despite the fact I'm making a whole video about it. But I do think that as a young man, music can be very impressionable to you at this age. See, when you're listening to music in the gym, you become reliant on it for motivation in some cases. Some people may be able to push themselves super hard even without music, and to those people I commend. But most of the time, people's pre-workout is just pulling up a David Goggins edit, sticking the headphones in their ears and just going hard. But what are you going to do when the music stops? What are you going to do when you're alone in your mind? No music, just you and the sounds in your head. What will you do then? There's no motivation. There's nothing to push you. There's no David Goggins edit. There's no anime. It's just you and your mind. The motivation fades. If you are able to bind and self-motivate under these circumstances, imagine what you'll be capable of doing when the music turns on. You'll be unstoppable. Now, I've only stopped listening to music in the gym within the last couple of weeks, and I've already noticed my mind-muscle connection and the amount of gains which I'm making in general just skyrocketed, just from the fact of me not listening to music and finding ways to self-motivate myself. But I want to go back to that point of mind-muscle connection. The feeling which you get from not listening to music because you're purely just focusing on the muscle you're trying to work, you connect with it on like a cellular level, man. I can feel like if I'm training chest, for example, I can feel every single fiber in my upper chest when I'm doing like chest press or something. Like, it feels incredible because I'm not focusing on the lyrics of the song that I'm listening to. I'm not focusing on what David Goggins is saying. I'm just focusing on stretching my pecs and just contracting the hell out of them. So I think that's one of the bigger getaways from not listening to music, is the feeling you get when you're not listening to it, and the mind-muscle connection which you build is incredible, man. Music you should 100% stay away from, though, in the gym and outside of the gym, is degenerate music. You know, your Pop Smoke, your Lil Uzi Vert, you know, your Playboi Carti, all these rappers who are just talking about, oh yeah, sex, money, money, money. You know, these people you should 100% stay away from, whether it's in the gym or whether it's outside the gym. This stuff passively becomes a part of you. Now, I'm speaking from someone who had aspirations of becoming a musician not too long ago now. I'm speaking from you personally, as someone who made music and someone who avidly listening to it. This becomes part of your personality and it sticks with you and you don't even know about it. Now, why I personally stopped having the desire to become the musician is because I started thinking long term. I started thinking about where I saw myself if I truly became what I wanted to become, which is, you know, this huge rapper, you know, jumping into the crowd, stage diving. What would I get from that? Like, I still had the morals of self-improvement. You know, I still rejected, you know, alcohol. I didn't want to do drugs. I'm not smoking. I'm not doing all of that stuff. But where would I see myself if I became that guy which I wanted to become? I would have transformed from someone righteous into someone completely different. I would have come from the self-improvement journey to a Jeffrey again. It wouldn't have been anything which I wanted. That isn't the legacy you want. The only things which fulfill you in that line of work is the amount of fans you have. You have these people worshipping you, you know, all this money, all this material stuff. But you don't leave a lasting legacy. You leave a disgraced legacy on the world. People see you as this drug addict who had people worshipping him. That's not the legacy you want to leave. You want to lead this earth as a masculine man with a strong feminine wife, with children who are going to carry on your bloodline and teach their children strong masculine and feminine values. Going back to listening to music in the gym, use it as like a power-up. You know, if you learn to self-motivate and you build that strong mind-muscle connection, when you're on that last set of bench or when you're on that last set of, dumbbell incline or something, if you need the music, the amount of boost it's going to give you will be like you've just, snorted 10 pounds of creatine there and then. You'll be so much more powerful. Use it properly. Use it as like a boost. When you really need that final push, that's when you turn on the David Goggins, or that's when you turn on the anime edits. That's when you really, really need it. That's when you should turn it on. Nothing with degenerate lyrics though, mainly just instrumentals. I quite like listening to those funk stuff every now and then. These crazy Russian beats, just like boom, 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 over and over again. But I recommend going a period of time without listening to music and just seeing the benefits and that strong mind-muscle connection you build and how you're able to self-motivate. It enables you to traverse that skill into areas outside the gym. So if you're feeling unmotivated for a certain amount of time, then you have built that self-motivation skill, so you can now push yourself to do these things without having to resort to external motivation forces. But give it a try, build that strong mind-muscle connection, learn to self-motivate, don't listen to degenerate music in and outside of the gym, and I promise you the benefits will be well worth it. Strive for greatness and don't be a vape puffing nerd.